second album sold 210,000 copies. So our label was allowing for us to be creative because we had showed them that we can do shit, you know, which would inspire them to want to spend money. Right. So B2K had a very unique situation. That was like, we just did the BET Awards and, you know, shout out to Shaka Zulu. He's like, man, congratulations on being celebrated. And I was like, I didn't think of it that way. You know, not just was it a well-oiled machine, but when you're put in a situation of this magnitude, it's pretty well oiled. So you got to be, not only do you be grateful, but you got to also remember your hard work and all those nights that you cried and times that y'all got let down. You guys are actually really here. So don't take this for granted. Stay on that. Stay on their neck. You know what I mean? And that was our energy. Every time we got on stage, we're like, we're going to kill it. You know, how can we take this next video to the next level? Okay, cool. Let's put Will Smith in the video. Let's put Ronald Isley in the video. Let's put Big Boy in the video. Let's put Flex Alexander in the video. Okay, let's give Vivica A. Fox. Let's get, you know, Jennifer Freeman. And it's kind of like how MJ went through some shit and was like, you know what? Like, I'm never going to let this happen to me again. That's a good one. I'm sure there was a moment. I would have to think really for a minute to actually really find out what that moment was. But I'm sure it was a moment where we was like, this shit, like we're going to be the biggest group ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to make a name for ourselves. And I believe we had that energy and air behind us because we knew when we started performing, it's a wrap. Like young B2K, like that energy. I mean, I knew people could dance, but like B2K had a different little edge. But we had a different little edge with us. Right?
Was it ever like you're on a tour and you're kind of able to move around like a normal person, and then like the next tour you're having to move around like the president? Like all of a sudden, like you're getting swarmed by fans and everything like that.
I've seen that before. This is a fine theory that I have behind that. I think that's.
I know who he is, and I know he ain't that big a deal at all. But he's moving around like a big deal. And like the people who don't know him they're convinced this guy's fucking famous as shit, and they're like all taking pictures, everything. So it's like you can kind of do that on a day-to-day basis if you want to move around and give off that much energy. And then on the other hand,
that's a lot of energy.
You can be a famous ass person and have your hoodie up, sunglasses on, low key, and people come over to you like, hey, are you so-and-so?
Right.
And like be polite about it because they recognize that you're not really trying to be like that at this moment. It's kind of weird.
I'm sure you experienced it as well. It's just a trip when you see somebody that you recognize. Like I literally was just talking to Amari today, and I was telling him I was supporting his record, and I run into Kevin today. It's kind of like one of those surreal moments, like, you know what I mean? So
definitely.
His energy was great. It was, talented dude. So keep writing, bro. Keep living. Keep writing.
For sure. Where did the name Raz B come from? You had that in advance, or?
Hell nah, bro. Rest in peace, Dave Scott. Phenomenal choreographer.